took off. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage. Do you even remember this bike, Lonnie?
I remember it, but it's been a while.
I didn't remember how mean it was, and I rode it. This thing fired right up after setting for years. No new gas or anything with the gas that was in it.
Garage kept, though.
Yeah, it wasn't weather kept like we like to keep them. So this is a 420 Predator bottom end with a 429 Duramax head. The reason we had to keep the head on that particular engine was the exhaust port on the Duramax. If you can see how it comes off at a 45 instead of just being flat, we mocked this exhaust up with a stock Duramax engine and then switched over to a Predator, and the exhaust, I didn't want to rebuild the exhaust, but it's got a 6 stainless exhaust. It's got the Magnum 440, I think it is. Yeah, the 440 CVT from Comet with the proper running rear pulley. This is like a proper big block setup. And we got a 308 cam, billet rod, and a billet flywheel in this bike. And stock carburetor, because I was worried about my leg. If I put a Mikuni, the Mikuni will set up like this high, and the throttle cable comes out the top. So that's the reason this is the way it is. I want to upgrade this to a Mikuni, but I don't know. We got one coming today. We'll see if we can squeeze that on there, because that'd be a big jump in power. But that one runs really good. Like everything about it.
You need more power.
You do not, but I'm going to put more power.
But if you can, do it.
Yeah, so in our racing is going to see about putting bigger valves in this head, porting it, and we're going to do 1.3 ratio rockers and chromoly push rods, and that should be a massive gain, and a billet piston. That would be huge in this engine. Like, it doesn't need it.
You can.
You can. Why don't you? This is America. So we have new shocks. The suspension is extremely soft. Lonnie, give it a squat on the front. The back's okay, but the front, like, Lonnie can almost bottom this thing out.
Easily. Like,
yeah.
That's barely pushing.
Yeah, so Coleman's, this is the Omega Moto frame. Same exact frame as the Coleman. If you have a Coleman, everything for a Mega Moto 212 will work for it. So same thing we did on the Coleman bike. We're going to put our 2-inch lift kit that's shown on screen. We sell these on RVG carts. We also have a 3-inch coming out in the next couple weeks. The rear lift for the Coleman B200 RSV basically just lifts your engine up. You get your lift out of the rear with shocks, but the problem is when you put taller shocks on that Coleman bike, you get the chain in the frame. So I built a bracket that lifts the engine to correct that angle of the chain. This one, we don't have that issue. So what we're going to do is do 1.5-inch taller shocks. They're coming in the mail today. We're going to pull the forks off, put Amsoil fork oil in them. We're going to preload the spring and put a 2-inch lift kit, just like the Coleman. So this bike will go from this low stance. This bike is dangerous with me riding it. The front end's so soft. Like, that was the problem with the Coleman bikes back in the day. The regular Colemans is the front end was so soft, it collapsed in turns. You remember that? Even with your weight, it did the same thing.
Yeah, and I think I remember that being a problem the last time we had this.
Yeah, it was just...
because that's real soft.
And it's scary, right? Even across the field, soft forks is a big problem. Like, when I changed the Coleman, it instantly made it one of my favorite bikes. But until we did all that work, it sucked. I want to adjust the CVT, but I think I have to order some stuff for that 440 pulley, because I don't know what weights and stuff. It needs to engage higher. It engages right off of idle. So we want to put it like a 2300 or something stall. We also got this jack we're going to try out for the first time. This won't work for a lot of mini bikes, but I think it will on this one because of how flat and wide the frame is. But this is at Harbor Freight. This is our motorcycle jack. I've been wanting one of these forever, and we finally got one. So hopefully this thing works out. If not, it's just going to be a big item in the way. So let's see. Let's get it under there and jack this thing up so we can get the forks off. How it clears. That should work. That's good right there.
Right there?
Yeah, that's super nice.
Go.
So when we're preloading these shocks, we've showed this on Coleman bikes, on MB200s. Once you get the shock off, you're normally able to unbolt this top. Now this one, you're gonna have to use an adjustable or the proper size wrench, like a regular wrench. But we gotta pull this top cap off. Then there's gonna be a spring inside of here and then the fork oil. We're gonna measure the fork oil with just a measuring cup. Stole this from the kitchen, literally. And we're gonna measure what we pour out of this, and we're gonna replace it with this Amsoil medium shock therapy fork oil. This stuff is a way better quality. It's gonna last longer, and I'm sure the stuff that comes in this is awful. Okay. You just gotta be very careful. Okay, this is, I don't think this will be under spring pressure because the factory setup normally isn't. It does have an O-ring to help this seal, so it's on a little bit, which is surprising because these are just so weak. This is gonna have oil all over it. So the tighter wound of the coil goes in first, the taller or the wider coil goes up. And get our measuring cup. I think last time it was around 8 ounce maybe. That looks better than what I thought. Most time it's like fish oil. So now I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna pump it, and you'll see a lot more will flow out. We're gonna do this until every bit of it's out. So yeah, it's 6 ounces. Oh no, it's 4 ounces. Okay. Remember, that's a low amount of oil. We have some Blaster brake clean. We're going to clean out this old oil. This can don't have much in it, so I'm just going to spray it till it's empty. And then that's just going to pump it through the little channels in there and clean out that old oil. So now that we have that cleaned out with brake clean, let every bit of it drain. Then we're going to put some, I have some light fork oil that we never use, and I literally just kept that quart to pour in here, pump it to wash out the brake clean, because brake clean will break down oil, so you don't want to leave any in there. Is there a secondary spring in here?
Sounds like it.
There is. So there's 2 springs in here. There's another spring sitting down in there, and I don't know what holds it in. Good to know. So I have this is lightweight stuff. I just keep this for this. I'll keep some for the other one. And now, drain that. And there was some black residue that just came out of that, so it definitely needed done. Here, I'm gonna clean this with brake cleaner because it's got a bunch of like black residue on it. Just to make sure we're not contaminating our new oil. So our tight part of the coil goes in first. We're gonna preload this. We did the Coleman bike 1.5 inches for my weight. That's gonna be too stiff for Lonnie, but I don't expect this to be a bike Lonnie rides much because it's so heavy. We're gonna put 2/3 of a cup in this, which is a little over 4 ounces.
You went past 2/3.
Did I?
It's on this side.
That looks really like blue raspberry. It tastes like it. You want to take a sip?
I'll take a sip. I love blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry is the best. Okay, so this is a little more than we had going to 2/3. It's a little more than we had before. So I should have did
Dump
this.
the oil first.
Yeah, I'm actually going to. I want to set the spring aside because I forgot we got to prime it. Now we're going to take this pump it all the way up and down to get any air discharged out of it. So we have about, what do you think, 2.5 inches of travel, 3 inch? See the line there?
Probably 3.
I'm curious how much travel these hogs got. 3 inch dead on. So you was bottoming out the suspension by just hand pushing it down earlier. So now we can set our spring in there. All right, now we need to find something that's this diameter we can use to preload that spring. Now you can use an old socket, and that's what I used last time. I had a bunch of 12-point sockets. So I'm gonna dig in that box, see if I can find one. I'll be right back. So the Comet bikes have an Allen up here built in them. This one does not. So what I'm gonna do is put the original bolt back in it, because I need something where I can push down and tighten at the same time. Because we're gonna put this socket, this is a 5/8 12-point socket. I don't use 12-point a lot. These are sockets I've had forever. As long as it's around the diameter of your spring, you're good. So what I have to do is, I'm gonna take this extension off to make it a little easier. It's very easy to cross thread this. So you're gonna wanna do this very lightly. Just gonna set it on there like that. And there we go. Now I can use this to hold that. I'm gonna break that loose. We're not reusing these top bolts because our lift kit comes with longer new bolts. But there you have it. We have stiffened, upgraded front suspension. You can do this on any bike, and it's way stouter now. So you can see, I'm only moving that with 1.5 inches. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
and then this
way
one
stiffer.
is the stock without anything done to it, and bottoming it out. So that's the upgrade you get. You can go with a 1 inch. Lonnie, for his weight, he would go with a 1 inch. Now the oil, when you put fork oil in this, all the oil is done is slowing down the rebound of the shock. So how springy, how fast it reacts, you're slowing it down with thicker oil. I've seen people put motor oil in these things because they want it even slower. I feel like if you use actual like medium fork oil, you're perfectly fine. But so what dictates how strong they are, how much weight they'll support, is the strength of the spring. So what we're doing is preloading it 1 inch. So the more you squat a spring, the more pressure it takes to push it 1 inch, basically. The more you preload it. It's just like valve springs are the same way, springs on a buggy are the same way. So that's all we're doing. So we're gonna do this one off camera. Then we can slap them back on the bike, show you how to install the lift kit on this particular bike. We're just in the 2 inch on this one because it's not really a big off-road bike. It's going to be like a street and trail-ish bike. So here's our lift kit. You can notice when we design this, we put a lip, and this will center it in the top fork or top triple tree. And then the bottom has a recess that sits down to hold everything together. So we're going to slide this in there. I'm going to hammer this. We got a screwdriver in here we're hammering in to keep this separated so it'll slide easier. Come on, baby. Once you get past that welded point, it's good. There, you're good. It'll be a lot easier. Okay. Keep going. You're gonna first tighten up the top bolt, but make sure that lip gets recessed all the way in there. There we go. Now we can tighten the tin that was in there. Now that fork is not going anywhere. We can do the same thing on the other side and then get the tire put on. There we go.
My name's Greg. I don't need anything.
No. So we got our new shocks in. I've been using these for a while off of Amazon. Some of these you get, this is a fake reservoir, but this particular set seems real because I've checked the valve. Air actually comes out. Now, I don't know if air is going through here. We may buy a set later and cut this off. I don't want to do that because it's a waste of 60 bucks, but in the name of science, I'll probably do it. But why I like these is they have about 2 inches of preload you can adjust. Then you can twist this, and this changes your rebound. And they have really nice insert bushings on them. Like, they're super nice shocks for 60 bucks for two. So we're going to upgrade these because these are short. These feel pretty decent, and these are nitrogen filled, but these will give us a decent drop in the rear to match our lift in the front. These shocks come with these inserts that you'll put in first. This is the first set that I've had where one side this will not go through. So I'm gonna have to take this on the lathe and drill it out just a hair. Bad boy seized on there. So what we're going to do is pull this. This is a Comet model 440. I think they call this a 440 Magnum. This is a lot like a standard style 30 series CVT, but better. It uses it's kind of a mix between a 30 series and a 780. So I would rather be using a 780, but it was a restriction in space that we had on this, and we have belt sizes for this. This should handle the power, and really, because this bike is so light, this should do perfect on this bike. The problem is these are set so low engagement. So this CVT engages at about 1900 RPM. The engine idles at 16 or 1700. So as soon as you touch the throttle, this starts engaging. So we're going to put some heavier or some lighter weights in this to up the engagement point, so we can engage at 2500 RPM, and that's going to help this engine, because basically the power, this max torque on this engine probably comes in at like 3500 RPMs. So we're going to be right under where we make our max torque. So it's going to give us harder launches and should help us rev out further, and it's going to be easier on the CVT because these have a lot of weight in them to engage at a lower RPM. And when you're revving them high with an ungoverned engine, it's a lot of centrifugal force happening in here, and you'll wear out stuff really quick. So we got to pull both pulleys off. This one's seized just from sitting outside under a tarp. This one's fine. So we're going to put a pry bar behind this, get this off. And I've never pulled one of these apart. I'm pretty sure we just got to hold the back bell, and then we can unthread this setup off. I'm thinking that's how it comes on and off. So we'll get this pulled off and upgrade it.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have a spring, and I think they make different color springs, but I'm not sure. Now that we got this unthreaded out, looks like we have a little bushing that rides against the spring there. Now we can open up the CVT, and we have weights all around this, and we also have a spring. So the spring is kind of like what you see in a centrifugal clutch or a 30 series, but it's holding all these pucks from sliding out. Now we're going to look at how the design is. You got to put the pucks in a certain area, and I bought all the pucks that we need to engage this at 2600 or 2500 RPMs. Since we're going from 9 pucks to 6, there's a specific way they want you to run them. It's basically 2 and 2. So we're going to run 2, skip 1, run 2, skip 1, run 2, skip 1. So we got to pop this spring off. I'm assuming that we can get under it and try to pry it outwards. So we already have the pucks we need. We just need to take some out. These are the new ones. These are the old ones. Both of them say 3/4. So I'm assuming all these are going to be the same. Got another one. Okay. And there it is. So what's cool about these is you don't necessarily have to buy anything to do the upgrade. You can just swap, like pull out what you got, and basically we're going to be running this to there, to there, to there, and that's our setup for 2,500 RPMs. So that's all we had to do. So now we got to figure out how to put this spring back on. There's probably a way to do this, a proper way. I don't know it. That's the only thing that sucks about Comet stuff, is there's not a lot of information for how old of a company it is. You would think there'd be a ton of information on how to do stuff like this, but there's not. So I'm just having to figure this out, and we just got to stretch that spring on over these. Looks like I can do it by hand. Bam. So there we are. That is a 2,500 RPM stall. You know what sucks? Is I ordered 6 extra. So now I have 9 extra. I have a full setup replacement for this, which is no big deal. They're not expensive. They're not expensive. And the part number for these replacements are 2098558 for these. There's 2 different weights on these. And I have all the one part number. So we're going to set this down. It sets right down in there. Drop that washer down inside there. I'm using an old cutoff shaft, axle shaft. You can see it's sticking up in there. So we're going to have to let this loose and do it right there, so our threads are exposed. There we go. Now we have an upgraded 440 pulley for 20. I think this is actually 2,300 RPMs, but it'll be a big jump from that, 1900 RPM engagement. All right, so we've done the front forks upgrades and rear shocks and the CVT. Should be a massive difference. Last time I rode it across the field, Lonnie hasn't rode this bike in a year and a half, yeah. And the front end was, for one, 2 inches lower, and it sagged more than 60% of its travel just sitting on it. So it should feel really good.
Way better.
Yeah, so put choke on, give her a start. Big block.
Huh.
Big block power. Yeah, so line it up out there. God, that mother freaker took off.
Oh my God.
Woo! So I'm not sure if what the CVT feels like or anything. We literally just got done doing the CVT and the suspension. So I'm sure it's a massive difference. But the CVT most likely still needs played with, especially that rear pulley, because they want to kick in that second gearing ratio a little too soon. So we need to stiffen the springs in that rear pulley, which will make a dramatic difference. But the thing is launch, and that's a non-ported head, stock carb, just been jetted up, a rod and a cam and a flywheel. That's it. So next is ratio rockers, port the head, mill the head, and put a different carb on it.
Top speed run. So 41, and that was not topped out.
Off and I was like, God, do one more launch. Is it racing?
Like crazy. I hit 41 and it was not done pulling.
Oh, okay.
It pulls so hard.
The bike also has a little bit like of a, I don't know if it's the, we clearance this block, but it's got a lot of valve noise. Don't know what that's about. We've adjusted the valves and everything. But the thing is,
Oh. Yeah, this thing pulls so hard.
would you feel good riding the woods or not? Go do a couple hill climbs, like go in the pond and climb back out and do the big long hill, but start at the base of it and just try to.
This thing needs a proper hill climb. There's nothing in here that's going to stop it. I'll go slow though, see if that makes it a little more challenging for it. Absolutely not. Yeah, this thing just eats these hills up.
All right, Lonnie's out ripping. So on the electric MB200. Let's go racing. One thing I did on this MB200, this electric one, is I put a sprocket chain tensioner, and I do not recommend that. I would much rather do like a plastic roller wheel, because you get so much racket and more heat and stuff.
I think I'm gonna smoke you.
We'll do a dig race from here. When we turn around, we'll do a roll race. Okay. All right. Ready, set, go. You beat me the whole time. You stayed about a truck length in front of me. If it was longer, I would have got you. One, two, three. It's crazy. That's pretty well. Very good.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, we're gonna roll again, but we're up a hill.
You would have beat me if we had longer.
Yeah. All right, let's roll into it. Go. Switch it.
Let's start down there.
Okay. This bike though is insane. It just don't have the bottom end grunt. Roll. 1, 2, 3. Woo. All right, switch them. You would think we're going faster. Ready, set, go. It's about the same. It's the same either way. Now we'll roll. 1, 2, 3. That electric, they just know outdoing it. You ripped it. Oh. This ain't mean though.
Oh yeah. We're more comfortable going fast on this than that.
Oh, I just said, yeah. This ain't a torquey beast. Let's get up to a higher roll.
What?
Like, let's get up to a higher roll speed and then take off. So when I do this, we'll go. When I... Dude, you spin the entire time. That's it. It's like a freaking Harley, dude.
It really is. That thing spins the whole time with me too, it feels like.
Oh, that was roosting. I mean, the entire way. You would hit a bump and it would just roost it. So, yeah, I think this is a stock carb, not ported head on factory rockers. Mm-hmm. If we change those three, you're talking about a 20%
Oh, this
or
feels
more.
meaner.
Yeah.
To me, like, just being on it, it's way more intimidating.
It's like a big block muscle car to a Tesla. That's the best way to put it. This thing freaking just eats, though.
Yeah, it just...
If I had to pick one, it'd be this one.
Oh, yeah. And I feel more comfortable. So you're going just as fast, but you feel more comfortable doing it.
The weight and the fatness of that hog.
That's what she said.
That's why I didn't want to go in the woods with that thing. It's
Oh, yeah.
so heavy and
You get slammed, it's going to hurt you because there's motor or motor. Those are the two funnest, like, ridiculous bikes we have, though.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
That first pull I did, after not being on it that whole time, I was like, holy
See, it grips with me, so it raised up down there, so I had to hug up on the neck.
Yeah, it just spins with me. Every launch I did, it got a little sideways.
I would like to put those tires on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got those garbage V-treads still. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good...
Real fun.
You was out making that video, and I was like, ooh, I wonder. All right, guys, so this was a super fun video to make. I'm so glad we got that big block bike back. We traded it off because we never rode it. We built the thing, and it sat outside. I traded it off for something, and then I end up trading the ultimate Coleman CT200U build. I traded it straight up for the big block mini bike back. And with that suspension fix, it's a whole different bike. And that CVT made a huge difference. I got to figure out, it sounds like valve noise. I don't know if my rockers are tapping my valve cover or what. I built that thing so long ago, who knows? But we're going to get some parts in to make it even meaner, even though it doesn't need it. We'll probably adjust the CVT. The CVT did feel really good. I just wonder what it would feel like on the road. We're going to put some new tires on it and then powder coat the frame. So that's what's going to happen next with the big block build. But that freaking Electro & Co build on the MB200 is insane. We was thinking about selling that bike because we don't ride it a lot. But then we get it out like this, and it just blows our freaking mind. So I highly recommend, if you have the means, to build an Electro & Co copycat of this MB200, because they're absolutely insane. You can go with a smaller battery to save a lot of money, because our build was really expensive because we got the biggest battery we could fit in there. But you go with a half-size battery and really knock down. But we put links to everything on both bikes down in the video's description. You can get MB200 Trailmasters from Small Engine Warehouse. They have the Hurricanes. There's 3 different models now. One has electric start, one has front and rear brakes, and then one just has rear brakes, the standard version. But make sure to check out Small Engine Warehouse for the bike, Electro & Co for the electric parts, and then we got various performance vendors for the big block build. But we're going to do some more stuff. I think we're going to get that head worked by NR Racing. They'll mill port it and put a little bit bigger valves in it, and then we'll try to squeeze on a Mikuni and just make it more absurd. But let us know what you think about these bikes. They freaking rip. Lonnie's just got that weight of it. He weighs half of me, of course. You can tell by looking at us, but I can't imagine what these bikes feel like with his weight. Maybe the next build on the channel, maybe RBG needs to lose some weight, go on a big diet so I can drop down 50, 60 pounds and see the horsepower gains in that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out those links. We've also linked the fork spacers from RBG Karts. We make those in-house, most parts, and then some parts we get machined here in our town. So it's a full American-made kit, and so support American. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We love you, and God bless.